thank you for coming and being with us in what some would argue one of the most beautiful places in Morristown. I'm from Morristown. One of the most beautiful places in Knoxville, and I've spent a lot of time on this riverfront, as most of the members of the General Assembly has, and there's no more beautiful place to announce something exciting. Thank you to the media for being with us. Obviously, thank you to the Lieutenant Governor, members of the General Assembly. Senator Massey will introduce them in more detail in just a minute. And thank you to everyone else, obviously the staff from the Department of Safety and Homeland Security for being here also. Many times, I was telling a reporter from Morristown earlier, you have an opportunity to work with good people if you're in Nashville. And we've had an opportunity on this bill to work with the General Assembly and to make something good happen. The best things happen when the three branches of government work together. And that's what makes our jobs exciting, rewarding, and that's what makes the state safer. So we had an opportunity with the sponsors of this bill to do something at no cost, something that was easy, and something that would vastly improve the ability of retailers, business people, and law enforcement officers to recognize those who are under 21 years of age. We all know that there's a different set of rules in many cases that goes with someone who is under 21. So that's the reason we're excited to be here today to announce this legislation. I want to introduce someone that has become very special to me since we have been in Nashville. We have worked together on several pieces of legislation. She has a long history of public service with herself and her family, and a long history of public service with a nonprofit here in Knoxville. She cares about people. She wants to make good things happen, and she's been a tremendous supporter of the Department of Safety and Homeland Security. So it's my privilege to introduce a friend and member of the Senate, Senator Becky Massey.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Perkey, and I want to thank everybody for being here today. First, I'd like to introduce my fellow members of the General Assembly that we're honored to have here with us today. First and foremost, we have the Lieutenant Governor Randy McNally. We have Senator Richard Briggs, Representative Roger Kane, Representative Bill Dunn, Representative Eddie Smith, and Representative Rick Staples. It was just really interesting working on this bill, and actually the original, let's say, problem was brought to me by Mike Chase several years ago. He asked to meet with me and began explaining part of the challenges that the hospitality and the retail industry has in serving, unintentionally serving underage drinking. I mean, they try their best to put the safeguards in place, but things happen. And we kind of talked a little bit about some possible solutions, but at first I'm kind of going, okay, I'm not sure how I can help with this, but let's just start thinking about it. And first year we tried a bill that we couldn't get funded, and it wasn't really the right solution. And then I started looking around and found that approximately 40 states have the vertical driver's license. And it's kind of like an aha moment. It's going, well, you know, that while ours had the little red stripe on it that said they were underage, it wasn't real visible, and or wasn't as visible or as just in your face as the vertical driver's license will be. So once we came upon that, and I worked with Representative Bill Dunn in the House, he was our House sponsor, and always does a great job in running legislation through there because we partner together a lot. But we passed it actually last year in 2017, but we had to wait till the contract was renewed for it to go into effect this July 1. So, and Commissioner, your staff that I've worked with on this legislation did a great job in helping with that. The hospitality industry really worked hard on getting the bill passed and lining up support for it. So, you know, when you really look at some of the statistics, I mean, they say that about 19% of youth between 12 and 20 are drinking, underage drinking. But when you start looking at it, a third of all seniors in high school and about 43% of college students that are underage are drinking. So, you know, excessive drinking is responsible for far too many deaths among underage youth each year. And if this, by moving to a vertical driver's license, we will save lives. I'm convinced of that. And it will make a difference. And every life we save is a treasured and precious life. So we were pleased to, as a General Assembly, to pass this legislation. And now I'd like, if the Lieutenant Governor would like to come up and say a few things. But again, thank everybody for doing this and for all the work the partnership did in getting this legislation passed.
Well, thank you, Becky, and thank you. I really appreciate your efforts and Representative Dunn's efforts on this, as well as the entire delegation. Representative Kane, Senator Briggs, Representative Eddie Smith, and also Representative Rick Staples. But probably of all the different delegations, the Knox County delegation is the most unified, gets the most things done, and works together as a great group. Also like to thank the Commissioner and his department, as well as the hospitality industry, for what they've done to really improve the serving of alcoholic beverages and help keep them out of the hands of minors. I think that's very important, and when you combine a young alcohol with a young drinker, it's sort of a double whammy. But thanks very much for coming out, and thanks all of my colleagues for doing this for the vertical license in Tennessee. Thank you.
I guess as the House sponsor, I need to say something, but as the father of 5 children who have just moved through these vulnerable ages, I know what it's like to be a parent worrying about what's going on. And so it means a lot to me when you're able, as a state legislator, to pass laws that you know truly will affect families and young people. And so I was glad that Senator Massey brought this bill forward. We were able to pass it because nothing good happens when you mix young people with alcohol, and this bill is going to help prevent that. Thank you.
I'm Bo Connor with Connor Concepts, and really appreciate Mike helping out on this thing and getting everything started with Becky. It's such an important thing for us, and we do our best to make sure that we don't serve underage drinkers, but things just happen. You look at the card, you do the math wrong, you don't see the red box or the other things. This thing is going to make a whole lot of difference. It's been a huge impact in other states that I've looked at, and it's going to do the same thing for us. And as Becky said, it will save lives. And you know, we do our due diligence as best we can, and we do not want to serve underage kids at all, period. We want them safe. We don't want them out there driving, and this is going to do a lot to help that. So just thank you all for coming, and thank you guys for helping get this done.